sleep away. Me and Lady Sucks. I need a new toy but got no box. Dead by horror, I see ghosts and living dead. Dead by horror, I see the monsters in my bed. Dead by horror is the best.
Here's your host, Daddy Man.
Heyo! It is Friday night. I'm your favorite Daddy Man in the kitchen, and that can only mean one thing. That's right. It is time once again for Mutant Cafe Unexpected Live this week. Welcome to the kitchen and my Chizo intro. It's better than a big screen. Nobody wants to sit there and look at that for the whole entire episode just for the intro. So welcome to the show. It is the first episode of our new series, which is Breakfast After Dark. We're hitting some of those breakfast favorites, but we're pumping them up a little bit, taking them a little bit from that standard breakfast time. You're rushing around in the morning. You don't have a ton of time to get super fancy. So we're going to be taking those classics and just mixing them up just a touch for dinner. One of my absolute favorite things as a kid was having breakfast for dinner. It just seemed extra special. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Let me get this burner going here. There we go. All right, so get your burner on low. Tonight we are doing Captain Crunch French Toast. French toast to me is one of the easiest breakfast dishes you can make. So we're just perking it up a little bit with a nice fine coating of your absolute favorite cereal, my absolute favorite cereal as a kid, Captain Crunch. Now, that being said, if you're not a fan of Captain Crunch, you could definitely use anything that doesn't have like a marshmallow kind of base to it. Anything that's just kind of a crunchy cereal, crunch it down, do the exact same thing we're going to do tonight with this Captain Crunch. Cheerios is really good, by the way. It's got a nice honey kind of coating on your French toast. So, as we always do, let's hit those ingredients first and foremost. We're going digital this week. It's been a weird week. That's why we're live. This was supposed to be taped. It's not taped, obviously. We get these ingredients up. I pretty much know what we need. It's a standard, like I said, this is a very standard French toast recipe. So you're gonna need 6 eggs. I got 7 in here, 1 extra always. You're gonna need 1 big loaf of Italian bread. I apologize if you saw the recipe earlier in the week and you haven't checked it again. It did say, Italian bread. It did say French bread. You actually want a big loaf of, it said Italian bread. You want the French bread. You want the big baguette. Texas toast is great as well. Any kind of bread that you like honestly works. I just wouldn't go with a super thinly sliced like white bread because that's going to suck up all the juice really quick and get soggy, and it's not going to crisp up in the pan. That Texas toast is great. What you are going to want to do with your bread, especially if it's new, fresh bread, is leave it out of its plastic container. I left this right out on the counter last night. So about 12, 24 hours is great. It starts so you can start to feel the bread dry up a little bit, and that's exactly what you want because you want it to soak up all the good stuff that we're going to put in it. Okay, about 8 to 10 tablespoons of butter. You're going to need some grape syrup. You're going to need a couple teaspoons of vanilla, 2 cups of half and half. You need about 16 ounces of Captain Crunch. That is a standard size box. This is the giant family box, so it's about a half, 3/4 of this. You're going to need a couple pinches of cinnamon, and you're going to need 4 tablespoons of sugar. That's it. You need a nice big skillet and a whisk and a rolling pin. That's it. So let us get going. Let me have a drink before we get started.
Someone asked who did the theme song.
I'm sorry?
Someone asked who did the theme song.
Hold on. I can tell you right here. I love this song. It is awesome. Give me 1 second here. Welcome to Friday Night Frights, by the way. Whoops. We are doing animation tonight. Someone called it anime night. It's sort of anime night. It's not traditional anime, but we did pick 2 great animated horror-ish films and we are going to be watching those tonight. And fair warning, they are both unbelievably traumatic. They're not happy movies. Oh, that's right, Zombie Dandies. I'm sorry, couldn't think of it. It's the Zombie Dandies, and that song is called Game Boy Horror. One of my favorite songs. They are super generous with their stuff. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, we're going to take that Captain Crunch, put it in a giant gallon baggie. Make sure it is sealed really, really well. Kind of get the air out of it. And you're going to take a rolling pin or a giant can, or you could use a mallet or a hammer if you wanted. Rolling pin works really fast. So we are going to crunch this up. We're really going to almost pulverize this. You don't want a lot of big chunks here. Lost my high-end audio visual of the intro. What would we do in the extra? So we're just making a coating. Like I said, this is a pretty standard French toast recipe. The only thing we're doing different is we're putting this extra coating of this Captain Crunch. And Captain Crunch, y'all probably remember eating as a kid, does not go soggy in milk. That's the 70 year I think I saw when I did my research. That's been their slogan. Pretty funny. It also tears the crap out of the top of your mouth. But it's really, really crunchy, which is great because it makes this French toast super crispy. And that is, like I said, part of the problem with French toast is it's hard to get it really, really crunchy without burning the bread because you're adding milk to the bread. It tends to get a little soggy, and you got to really practice a lot, have the perfect hand, have the perfect of everything world, the perfect amount of butter in there to get it to brown up without staying soggy and falling apart or burning. So this extra layer of crispy, already crispy, kind of keeps it nice and crispy and crunchy.
Jeremy wants to know how you're not eating handfuls of that while you're cooking.
Because I gotta talk, and I already have dry mouth. But yeah, it should be. Plus, it cuts the crap out of your mouth.
He said that's why he's the fat brother.
No comment. I should see I have plenty on because this t-shirt's too small. So yeah, Friday Night Frights. We are watching some great animation. We're watching Soul Station, which is the animated prequel to Train to Busan. So anyone who has seen Train to Busan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Get out the Kleenex because it's not going to be a happy zombie movie. Not that there are a ton of happy zombie movies. And then after that, that's at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then after that, at 10 o'clock Eastern, that's on Shudder, by the way. And by the way, I did a search for it. It doesn't come up as the first thing in the search bar for some reason, so don't panic. Just scroll down about 10 rows, and I found it there. I don't know why. No comment. So then at 10 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to jump over to Hulu and watch the movie that is most scaring everyone this week. We got some great comments like, holy crap, why are you doing that to us? And then my absolute favorite from, I think it was WTF, our good buddy who's there every Friday night, said, Grave of the Fireflies, comma, all caps, fuck you. Which I take that as a compliment. We take you places here on Friday nights. You don't want to be watching the same boring stuff that we've watched a million times. We like to take you places. We like you to think. We like you to feel things. And yeah, it's super sad. I just told Hubs about it. It's one of the first animated movies that left me devastated for a couple days. But we're all gonna watch it together, so don't worry about it. We'll get each other through it. And then so that's at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and it's on Hulu. So who knows? We know, Hulu edits stuff, so maybe they'll take all the sadsy parts out. I doubt it, but maybe. And then at midnight, as always, Frank from MutantFam.com is spinning the videos all the way into the early morning hours. He said he's got some great anime things lined up for us. I trust him. He never disappoints. All right, so we got this all nice and crushed up. All right, it's almost a powder. There are a couple little chunks in here. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get this in a bowl. This is super easy, you guys. It's gonna be probably a shorter episode tonight. We're okay with that, right? For an unexpected live show, I'm okay with it. Things to do, Kleenex to get ready, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so in a bowl. Next, we're pretty much going to take everything else except for maybe the bread and the syrup, and it's going in this bowl. So 6 eggs. Yeah, if you do have any questions, shout them out in there. As you can hear, Hubs is laying on the bed with Wally, which you'll occasionally probably see him on the screen, checking out what the heck's going on.
Brittany got the wrong cereal.
Who said that?
Brittany got the wrong cereal.
Brittany.
She went Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hey, just as good. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Love Brittany. Brittany is always here on Fridays, and I love it. And she's always 20% doing her own thing, and I love that too. Her food always looks amazing. It's just proof that you don't have to have everything perfect. All right, 2 cups, half and half, right in this bowl as well. Big pinch cinnamon. That's up to you how much you want. And some vanilla. I, of course, am using the yummy Detroit bourbon vanilla. A little more even. There we go. And 4 tablespoons of sugar. This I am going to measure. It's a pretty sweet dish. Got the Captain Crunch. Oh, by the way, I have some whipped cream back there that I whipped up. Cool Whip is fine too. So make sure you got some whipped cream to top this off with. Syrup, obviously. You could go berries. You could go any kind of nut you like. Whatever you like.
What brand of vanilla?
I use homemade Detroit bourbon vanilla. Just use vanilla. That's what I like. All right, we got our bread. We got this going. We're gonna whisk this up really good. Get that pan going. Get some bacon going. Get some sausage going. If you are gonna make giant, sorry. Yeah.
Mutant fan said me in the background is the best, is his favorite part, so I said thanks.
Okay. If you're okay, if you're what was I gonna say? Completely lost my train of thought. Oh, if you are making big batches of this, make sure you got your oven on about 300 or so, and you got a plate in there or a cookie sheet, maybe lined with some parchment paper, because as you make this, you're gonna put the pieces in the oven to keep them warm so they don't get cold while you're continuing to make more and more and more. Just get this whisked up, make sure the yolks are all broken up. Super easy, you guys. All right, so we got a couple good weeks coming up. I'm definitely doing 3 weeks of this, and then we're heading over to our October. And I may do 1 recipe in this series for October, but I've got some other stuff planned for October. We've got some huge stuff planned for October for the Friday Night Frights. So I'm going to go sweet all month long in October. We're going adult sweet. So get ready for that. All right, we've got this really well stirred up. Put that in there because we'll give it another minute. All right, we're gonna cut this into about 10 pieces. I like to cut the ends off. You can definitely use those and make pieces out of that, but they're small. And that actually, this is, you know, what's going on here. So you're gonna go about 10 pieces. So cut it off. And then 4 to 10, you know. Definitely thicker than, like I said, the sliced bread you normally get in the bags. Maybe double that thickness. There you go. Okay? All right. There we go. Get this out of the way here. Cooking along. I'm sorry if we're going too fast. Kind of want to keep this short. Last week was super, super long. We made those ribs. So much to talk about. We went really long. I want to make sure you guys have time to finish up your French toast, get it plated up, get some food in your belly before we put you through the torture that we're about to put you through. It's really not bad. They are emotional movies, but we got to do that. I promise we'll make it up to you next week. I promise, promise, promise we're going to make it up to you next week. All right. Got this nice and stirred up. So, you want your wet, then you want your dry, then you want your pan. All right? That is the order of things. Knife. About 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. There we go. Get that moving around. Get all your pan nice and coated with that butter. Okay, here we go. Into the wet. And we've done this before. Keep it wet, take the rings off. 2 in. And this is your wet hand, this is your dry hand. Okay, remember that? This butter's starting to brown, turn it down just a touch. All right, into completely submerged into the egg. There we go. Submerged into that egg. Make sure it gets, you can start feeling the bread is a little spongy. It's exactly what you want. Right. As soon as you start feeling that, pull it up, let it kind of drip off, and then right into that Captain Crunch. Right. Make sure it gets really nice and coated. Oh, smell that butter. Right. Nice and coated. And then into the pan. Coat it again. And we're going to go about 4 to 6 minutes on that first side. Should get those sides too. This bread has a nice thick crust, so you don't have to go super heavy on those sides. Here we go. And hear that sizzle. Yum.
Mutant Foodie said that they need an egg cracking tutorial.
All right, I got one right here. The one-handed egg cracking tutorial. It's funny because I don't even pay attention anymore. All right, so hold your egg. And crack. Get about halfway down. And all you're doing is you're kind of pushing the part that's on the inside of your hand up to your palm while you're squeezing and pulling apart. All right, pull apart. I don't know how to better show that, but that's what you do. Maybe I'll do a supplemental video. Get up under, get the camera under. I need a cameraman. Anybody want to move to Chicago? Ask Cubs, you get paid a ton.
Don't do it.
It's already brown and nice. It smells so good. But again, make sure you got some sausage or some bacon, something like that. Next week, what are we doing next week? Frank from mutantfam.com requested this one, or requested something like this. So I took his suggestion for the traditional pork sausage gravy, and I'm going to take that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take tater tots and a nice big cast iron skillet. Get those tater tots all super crispy and covered with some cheddar cheese. Then we're going to put a big egg layer over top of that and make it into almost like a frittata in the oven, cook those eggs up. And then over here, we're going to cook that sausage gravy. We're going to pour it all over that skillet and make a nice layered potato, egg, and sausage gravy skillet. It'll serve 4, and it's delicious, and it'll be done in about 40 minutes. Super, super good.
Jeremy offered to come be a guest cameraman for a weekend.
That works. I'm all about the free help. So I don't know that I'm going to cook all 4 of these because, again, I do want to keep this a short episode. We're at 21 minutes. So once we get this first batch done, I'm going to put a second batch in the pan so you can kind of see how we're going to keep moving it along. But after that, we're done. I want to give you guys a nice 20, 25-minute break before the movies start tonight. Again, we have some great stuff planned. I think we have, 2 more weeks after this of just regular episodes, and then we're jumping into Friday Night Frights, Halloween, which is going to be amazing. And we announced it. Thank you all who came to the Mutant Labor Day all day on Monday. Part of the reason the week is so messed up is short week, and we started with that giant 12-hour marathon. Just kind of threw my whole week off. But thank you guys for coming. And as we announced during that, we are ending the spooky month of October with a 24-hour marathon. That wasn't a typo. 24-hour marathon, Mutant Halloween. We are starting at 2 o'clock on Halloween afternoon, which is on a Saturday this year. And because you can't go outside, we are doing 24 hours. We're bringing in some new sponsors. We've got our traditional 6 sponsors for all these mutant holidays. By the way, let's flip these while I'm gabbing because they are... Oh, yeah. That's what you want to see. Let's see if I can, there we go, get this up for the camera. That's what you want to see right there. Nice and toasty. All right, so we're doing our 6 typical sponsors, myself, mutanttheater.com, mutantfam.com, Killer Horror Critic, Lurking Transmission, Industrial Light and Sound, and Monster Movie Happy Hour. I think I got everybody. 4, 5, 6. Yep, I got everybody. And then we're going to add a few more sponsors. Some of those sponsors are going to add some sponsors. Some of them are doubling up. We've got some special surprises coming up. So there's all kinds of stuff coming up for that Mutant Halloween. 24 hours of fun. It starts Halloween afternoon at 2 o'clock, and it's going to go all the way to brunch the next day. So we can all wake up, have a little breakfast, watch that final movie from noon to 2 o'clock. So there's no better way to spend Halloween this year. All the cities are canceling their Halloween, which is a total bummer, and we get it. Can't be going door to door because we're going to get that Snickers bar, but you're also going to get COVID, and that's no fun. So we're going to hang in instead, and we're going to watch scary, scary movies. So let those sponsors know if there's any movies you want to see. We're not going to reveal what's going on quite yet, but you'll know soon what's going on for that 24 hours. So we're almost done here. Yeah. Like I said, I got some whipped cream going on back here. Get that out. It's just your standard heavy whipping cream. Whip it up really good. Once it starts getting thicker, add your powdered sugar. And then to go with this recipe, I added a big helping of cinnamon in there to kind of go with this recipe. Okay. So we're almost done. Get that on medium high. Nice and brown on both sides. Let's check that second side. All right, so the second side is almost done. So what we now want to do is just take your next 2 pieces. And again, right in the milk. Wet hand, dry hand, wet hand. I'm soaking in it. Some of you will get that. Ward will get that. Ward's my buddy. Ward's an old man like me. He gets my jokes. I like it. All right, here we go. Wet into that nice, dry Captain Crunch. Get it all coated over. Now what you could do is you could do a bunch of these all at once. Stick them on like a cooling rack. But I like doing them as I'm making them. That next one up. A little milk out of there. So it's going to make about 8, which is enough for 4. These are super thick. Again, you're going to serve them with some kind of meat on the side or your favorite fruit. And you got whipped cream on the top, and you also got syrup. There's a lot going on these. And Also, keep in mind these are super thick compared to your normal pieces of bread. So, cinnamon raisin toast cut nice and thick is delicious. All right, let's check that second side. Almost done. Yep, there we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's get it played out. Salt to the side. A little more butter for your next batch. Okay, get it melted all across that pan. And you're just gonna keep going. So those, instead of on a plate, obviously would just go in the oven. You could do 2 pans at once. You could do a much bigger pan. I just wanted to do this pan because you can sort of see into it. And bigger pans, but taller as well, so you can't see into them as well. You guys can barely see into it as it is, so. All right, here we go. All right, in there. And again, that's soaked with milk, so it is definitely a little soaked. So you gotta kind of be gentle with it. All right, so that's it. So we would just keep going, round after round after round after round. As soon as the camera's off, feel free to keep going with that, but I am not gonna bore you or hold you with it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this yummy cinnamon whipped cream, or just plain whipped cream, or berry whipped cream if you want to put some raspberry in there. Give it 2 big, nice dollops. All right, there you go. You got that dollops of whipped cream on there. And now we're just gonna take the syrup and pour it over top. There you go. Captain Crunch French toast. That's it. Look at that. You made it for one in about 25 minutes, and you're going to keep pouring those out. In about another 15 minutes, you'll have enough for 4 people. That is your Captain Crunch French toast with cinnamon whipped cream and all that maple syrup. I hope you guys enjoy that. Enjoy the movies tonight. 8 o'clock on Shudder. We are watching Soul Station. 10 o'clock on Hulu. We're watching Train to Busan. I will see you next week for the next episode of Breakfast After Dark. We are making that delicious sausage. Wally's excited. Sausage, gravy, and egg skillet. It is delicious. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Enjoy that French toast. There you go. It's a nice good shot of it. Enjoy that French toast. And I will see you guys in the tweets in about 25 minutes. And I will see you right here again next week for the next episode. There we go. The next episode of Late Night After Dark. Thank you guys so much for joining me. See you in the tweets. There's your French toast. Come on. It may hurt. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Thanks for joining me. There we go. Thanks for joining me.